Hey there, beautiful souls, and welcome to today's message. We're up to day 38 of the 40-day challenge, choosing love over fear. And I'm coming to you randomly and quickly, actually not at the time that I was actually planning, but it turns out I've just been on a bit of a quick walk with my partner, and miraculously he's lost the key out of his pocket. So he's on a bit of a search, retracing our steps, and I thought this was the perfect time to actually share a really powerful message from my heart to yours about how we're living, how we're relating, and it's come through in my own personal journaling and journey today, really around these topics of swapping our competition and comparison for celebrating each other and connecting deeply and meaningfully. And this one's been a really powerful one in terms of what really inspires me and the work that I do, and why I really love bringing community together. It's always in connection to this. It's always about this missing kind of void from my own upbringing and childhood, where I was the only girl in a family of boys, the youngest, come from a pretty competitive academic family, where it was very much, like you got to be the best in order to be valuable and successful and all of those things. And just kind of witnessing that and observing the dynamics, it kind of left this void within me that felt like something was missing in terms of just this freedom to be celebrated for all of who we are, our authentic selves, right? And even just the discovery of that, without competition, without comparison, and instead being able to connect and celebrate from that place of authentic being, right? That we're allowing for our differences. We're actually not just allowing for them or tolerating them, but we're actually really inspired and celebrating of those differences, of those uniquenesses, of our authenticity, right? And you guys who've been following me for a while would know that, I've mentioned a few times that as I was growing up, the reason why I would leave relationships, whether they be, intimate boyfriend-girlfriend relationships or friendships, was when I reached a point where I realized that, and my term back then was feeling as though I wasn't free to be me, right? I wasn't free to be all of who I was. I was playing a role to kind of meet other people's expectations, to meet their needs and all the rest of it. And back then, before I knew anything about personal development, I really just put it all on them. I wasn't taking responsibility for my part and what my patterns were that played into the reasons why I wasn't actually connected to or sharing of my authentic self. But there was this underlying undercurrent and pattern all throughout my childhood and all the way through to my personal development journey, where I really just didn't know who I was, and I was molding myself to the expectations of others, and gaining my sense of connection by meeting other people's desires for who they wanted me to be, right? And I don't know if you can relate to that, but at the end of the day, whenever you get connection by trying to be who you think others want you to be, it's a really lonely place. Like, it's one of the most lonely. It's one of the most isolating, to get the love, acceptance, and approval, but not actually for your underlying core self, but instead for some molded version that you've been trying to be for others, or what you perceive they want from you, right? And I was kind of just a bit distraught this morning, I love being a coach, and one of the reasons is because it gives me so much opportunity to grow and develop as I allow and hold the space for others to have their own individual journeys with non-judgment, and really supporting them to deepen into their own awarenesses and directing of their own life and who it is that they're proud to be. you know, run into like lots of different challenges that they're being confronted with, and, you know, different patterns that they'd be less than proud of operating in, like all of us run into, right, as human beings. And sometimes it like can hurt my soul a bit, you know, like particularly when, because of my journey, when, you know, people are showing up in ways that aren't treating the other people who are important to them in their lives with real reverence and love and, you know, all the beautiful things, like that celebration of who somebody else is. And it hits me in the heart often, right? But also it alerts me to the relationship that we each have within our own selves. Because when we are not seeing and celebrating the fullness of another human being, it's not actually personal about that other person. It's actually personal within their own system, right? And so part of what I really am inspired to do is help people celebrate and connect deeply within themselves so that they are able to do that in all other relationships that they have with others. Because the only reason why we get caught up in competition and comparison is because we're in that outdated model of how society teaches us and pays us and trains us to be better than others in order to be recognized as valuable. Really a scarcity mindset. Like, we can't have like everybody be their most successful selves, right? Like, and there's always a comparison, a threat connected, a disconnection, all the rest of it. And it's a very different living of life when we're coming from competition and comparison versus the capacity to really celebrate the fullness of yourself and of other individuals and their uniqueness and their authentic inspirations that are unique to them, right? And to really connect with ourselves on a really deep level and therefore with others on a really deep level. And, you know, for those of you who've been following me since the beginning, you would know that my current fiance and I, we were together for 4.5 years, and then we parted ways for 4.5 years, right at the beginning of me showing up on these Facebook Lives back in 2017, you know, and really developing my own independence, and that was a necessary part of our journey. And it feels like it's come full circle a little bit with today's message because you know, in the past, and one of the major reason why we broke up that first time was we were running everything, our businesses together and all of those things. And sometimes, you know, in our intimate partnerships, what creates the attraction is there's more of a masculine energy and there's more of a feminine energy. And whether that's male or female, right? But like we play out, like I'm more feminine in my energy, and my partner or fiance is more masculine in his. And the masculine part within all of us, because we have both, is more focused on competition, right? And the feminine part is more focused on connection, right? And so we basically, one of the major reasons why we needed to part and go our own independent ways was because there was too much competition coming from his masculine side, seeing me as more of a threat than a teammate. And of course, I had my own wounds around that. The feminine tends to dull itself down to be non-threatening. And so that can be not healthy, and it played into that that dynamic as well. And, you know, just as we're on this walk before we lost the keys and now we're locked out of the house, and I'm supposed to be on a coaching call right now, but I'm having to delay it for a little bit until we can get back in the house. Just beforehand, we were on this walk and we give each other these appreciations every day. You know, we just share something that we really appreciate about the other person, why that matters to us, and how it might be the same or different from our childhood. Really just building our deeper connection with one another and our team and our bond. And he actually really was able to celebrate me today in a very meaningful way. And we reflected on how different that is now from what it was in the beginning, and how that competition piece used to trip us up and spark different patterns within him. And that's no longer there. I mean, look, there's always different layers, and that's bound to come up because we're imperfect individuals. But in this place where we're at right now, he was able to really celebrate me for some major steps that I'm making that in the past he would have felt a bit threatened and competitive with, that would have disconnected us. And then I was able to really just celebrate and appreciate him for opening his heart to a new level that allows for the celebration and connection between us in our fullness, rather than that comparison and competition that separates and limits us. All right, and so I just wanted to share that as an example there. I'm hoping he's found the keys by now. I really want to get back inside, but I definitely want to check in with you guys and see who's been able to join me today. Please say hi. I love connecting with you guys. I'd love to hear your words of wisdom, your experiences, or any questions or comments you want to share on this topic here as well. But let me check in. I've got Sanford in the house. So good to see you, my friend. And Vanessa, yay. And Phil's here. I love it. And thank you for your kind words there, Javier from San Diego. Always great to see you, my friend. And Bill's in the house as well, and Sharon. So good to see each and every one of you guys. I hope today's message serves you. I don't know if you caught my video from yesterday. I tried to do it from my Limitless Potential page. And I thought I'd be bypassing some of the limits that Facebook has again put on my account. So I can't actually share any of these messages and for another few days. I really don't like Facebook, if I'm honest. Like, I'm always getting banned from something or stopped from doing something, so it can stop my flow at times when I really get into these daily lives with you guys. So I'll figure it out, but grateful to be here, and I'd really appreciate if you were able to share these messages on my behalf, because I'm not able to anywhere that you feel there are other people who could benefit from any of these messages and join in on building our community here. Bill, hello from sunny Miami Beach. Oh, beautiful. Yeah, I'm in sunny Noosaville, where I live right now, just down on the river. If you can see here a little bit, just chilling while we find the keys that we lost so we can get back in the house. But so good to see you guys. Really hope this message has served you, inspired you, and just reminded you, if nothing else, to swap your competition and comparison that only limits and separates for celebration of yourself and who others uniquely are, so that you can really connect. All right, that's where we access, how we are inspired and can be inspiring, rather than limited and isolated and in that kind of scarcity mindset rather than the abundant one. All right, so totally different paths of living. Definitely, that celebration and connection is the path of choosing love, and the fearful path is the one of competition and comparison. All right, so much love coming your way, and I cannot wait to see you tomorrow. I can't see you either, but I love having you here. Much love.